Why saying no will change your life. Do you ever feel like you're constantly saying yes to everyone but yourself? You're not alone. Many of us struggle with setting boundaries because we fear disappointing others or being seen as selfish. But here's the truth, saying no isn't selfish, it's self-care. It's time to reclaim your time, energy, and peace of mind by mastering the art of saying no. In a world that glorifies busyness and people-pleasing, saying no can feel like an act of rebellion. But the reality is, every time you say yes to something you don't want to do, you're saying no to yourself. You're sacrificing your own needs, desires, and well-being to please others. Over time, this leads to burnout, resentment, and a loss of self-identity. But why do we say yes when we really want to say no? For many, it's rooted in a desire to be liked, fear of conflict, or a misguided sense of obligation. The problem is, every time you say yes to something you don't want to do, you're giving away a piece of yourself. Why saying yes to everything is draining you? When you say yes to everything, you're essentially saying no to yourself. You're sacrificing your own needs, desires, and well-being to please others. Over time, this leads to burnout, resentment, and a loss of self-identity. But why do we say yes when we really want to say no? For many, it's rooted in a desire to be liked, fear of conflict, or a misguided sense of obligation. The problem is, every time you say yes to something you don't want to do, you're giving away a piece of yourself. Overcommitting yourself can also lead to a phenomenon known as decision fatigue. The more decisions you make in a day, the harder it becomes to make good ones. By saying yes to everything, you're draining your mental energy and leaving little room for the things that truly matter. The simple, actually method to say no gracefully. 1. Know your priorities. Before you can say no with confidence, you need to know what matters most to you. Make a list of your top priorities, whether it's family, career, health, or personal growth, and use it as a guide when making decisions. When you're clear on your priorities, saying no becomes easier. You'll have a clear framework for evaluating requests and determining whether they align with your goals. 2. Be clear and direct. When saying no, be clear and direct. You don't need to over-explain or apologize. A simple "I can't commit to this right now" or "this doesn't align with my priorities" is enough. Being direct doesn't mean being rude. It's about respecting your own time and energy while also respecting the other person's request. 3. Offer an alternative, if possible. If you want to soften the blow, offer an alternative. For example, "I can't help with this project, but I can recommend someone who might be able to." Offering an alternative shows that you care about the person's needs while still honoring your own boundaries. 4. Practice self-compassion. Saying no can feel uncomfortable at first, but remember, you're not responsible for other people's reactions. Be kind to yourself and remind yourself that setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It's okay to feel guilty at first, but don't let that guilt dictate your actions. Over time, saying no will become easier, and you'll start to see the positive impact it has on your life. The benefits of saying no. When you start saying no, you'll notice a shift in your life. You'll have more time and energy for the things that truly matter. You'll feel more in control of your life and less resentful toward others. And perhaps most importantly, you'll start to rebuild your sense of self-worth. Saying no also allows you to focus on your own goals and priorities. Instead of spreading yourself thin, you'll be able to dedicate your time and energy to the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. Your time is precious. Saying no isn't about being selfish, it's about honoring your time, energy, and well-being. By setting boundaries, you're creating space for the things that truly matter. So the next time you're tempted to say yes when you really mean no, remember, you deserve to live a life that aligns with your values and priorities.